You need to develop a comfortable posture for sitting, either on the floor or in a chair, that allows you to remain alert and still for some time without pain or great discomfort. If you are sitting on the floor, it is important to have the hips higher than the knees. The knees should be stable and supporting you by making contact with the ground, cushions, etc. The hips can be elevated with pillows or a meditation bench, so that the natural curves of the back are maintained without effort. Unless you maintain the natural concave curve of the lower back, the muscles of the back will be continuously working and eventually struggling to hold the body upright. This will eventually produce strain, unsteadiness, fatigue, discomfort and pain, no matter how strong your muscles are. The legs should also be positioned to steady and support the body. It is important to do stretching postures to open the hips and groin and stretch the hamstrings. This will reduce the strain on the knees in whatever posture is selected for meditation. Knees do not bend to the sides. If the hips are not sufficiently opened and the hamstrings stretched, and you try to force or maintain your legs in some idealized posture, such as a full lotus, there is a high likelihood of injury. Although the full lotus posture has some useful attributes, much of its value comes from having fleshy parts of the legs cushioning the body on a bare, hard floor. That is seldom the case in most meditation situations today. It is much less important to sit in the full lotus posture than it is to sit comfortably and with stability and awareness. You will be just as enlightened kneeling, sitting in simple folded leg postures or in a chair. If you are doing a lot of sitting for many days, it is useful to have different complementary sitting postures in which you are comfortable. Alternating postures will minimize the stress on any particular joint or muscular area without compromising your intensity or awareness. Few Western practitioners are able to sit in full lotus for hours a day for many days without pain. Switch sides to balance the stress of sitting, i.e., don't always put the same leg on top in half lotus. Recognize that structural imbalances in sitting postures can manifest in the neck, shoulders, upper back, and lower back, as well as the obvious hips, knees and lower back. A shoulder pain may really be a result of a tight groin muscle twisting the hips, for example. Questions often arise as to the handling of pain during sitting and whether it isn't useful to teach detachment by confronting the mind with its typical avoidance mechanisms. Sitting with some discomfort for long periods of time without moving, as can be the case in the Zen tradition, does reveal the frantic nature of the mind to resolve what it perceives as a significant problem. However, if discomfort crosses over into pain, and most folk are aware of the difference, especially in the knees or lower back, injury can result that will require medical care. If the pain becomes acute, meditation ceases and pain management will be all that occurs in your sitting. It is important to distinguish between pain and suffering. Pain is a message from the body that there is a physical problem that needs to be dealt with. Suffering is the mind creating a story about the pain, about how terrible, irrational, or unfair this is. There can be suffering with little pain, and there can be great pain with no suffering. Recognizing the difference is a critical factor in meditation and in life. A complete, balanced stretching program dealing with all parts of the sitting apparatus is important. This stretching is not just for more comfort in sitting for meditation. It is also critical to stretch and open the upper body, particularly the upper back, shoulders and chest for chanting and breathing. As to the question of how long to sit, the simple answer is as long as you can, with the caution that it should not involve pain as described above. It is the experience of many practitioners that if you never sit for longer than 20 minutes, you are unlikely to see anything that looks like acceptable progress in sitting meditation. This is because it takes something like 10 or 15 minutes for most people to get their body and mind stilled and away from their previous activities. Consequently, you will likely eventually abandon sitting meditation as appearing to be of little value. Many find that getting past 30 minutes is a critical tipping point in their practice and where changes really begin to occur. How long you are able to continue sitting productively can increase significantly with practice, but for most people something like 40 or 45 minutes is a good ending point, particularly if you are doing several rounds of sitting, alternated with 5 to 10 minutes of walking meditation or stretching.